I wanted to do another little known game like I used to enjoy doing back on the podcast as well, but obviously you don't always know whether or not they're going to be good or bad until you start playing them. This is a weird one. It's from the PS2 days. It only has like 3 or 4 videos on YouTube, and then obviously I went and played the entire thing. Back in the hole.
Back in the hole. Back in the hole.
Spy Fiction is a 2003 stealth action game for the PlayStation 2 by Access Games. It is an homage to the espionage genre and originally a bit of a laugh. However, the English localisation mostly stripped out its cheekiness and plays it straighter. The main hook is that it not only apes many spy movies and stealth game tropes, but it also has a focus around disguises and gadgets. Spy Fiction stars Billy Bishop and Sheila Crawford, a pair of doll-like spies working for a special ops unit named Phantom. You have 4 other members in your cohort: Eve, the mission commander; Michael, the gadget guy;
an ancient weapon of choice. You're welcome, grasshopper.
Niklaus, who I was certain would betray you the moment he appeared on screen; and Samuel, who you're introduced to while he's already in disguise as a chef, and then to confuse things further, he refers to himself as Cookie for some reason.
Okay, kid, here's what Cookie knows. The electron microscopes in the level 2 lab.
So Enigma, a terror group, have a chemical weapon known as Larder, which causes people to boil from the inside and are planning on selling it to high-end criminals, as well as frame the US with it for instigating World War III. You mostly deal with one of the middle managers of Enigma called Diedrich. He wears a long black leather coat, hangs around big red flags, and has a German accent. Your run-of-the-mill, pre-2017 Nazi.
Stand still now. I've arranged a delightful show for you.
It's all quite silly, theatrical, and fun. Spy Fiction is a charming game, and you can feel the love for the genre in its many wrinkles, even if the US and EU version did away with some of the melodrama. The game is still plenty over the top without it, so it may not necessarily be a bad thing. The Japanese version's voice acting was also in English, so you can check out the comparison in this great video by Giluria. After choosing Billy or Sheila, you receive your mission briefing, but how you tackle it is somewhat up to you. It has these quite large, open-ended levels that give you the freedom to pick and choose your disguises, listen into conversations for intel, and really carve your own path through them. The sound cue for letting you know a conversation can be eavesdropped makes my skin crawl, and there are 3 versions of it and all of them are horrible.
Casey, a genius? He can't come up with a simple password. He has to use a lottery ticket.
During the start of most stages, your first objective will be blending in. To take a disguise, you need to use your 3DA camera to snap a picture of your victim. You can get their outfit photo easily, but taking a better photo will mean you get their face too. What's more, for some high-profile disguises, you can listen in and get a recording of their voice, which allows you to speak to people. Then you need to find somewhere to hide and get all dressed up. Pressing the crouch button while in disguise gives you an action to blend in with the people around you. It is a bit of a rush to be hiding while simultaneously just standing in front of your enemies. It's a very different type of stealth than what we usually see in games. A few areas have checkpoints with people manning the door, and the appropriate preparation is needed to pass them. On top of your disguises, you have a suite of gadget options. The most basic is your active camouflage. If you press up against any wall and take a moment, you will disappear, leaving only your weapon exposed, if equipped. You also have spider grips, allowing you to stick to the ceiling along edges of the rooms, a pair of ski goggles that allow you to see mines, and some Splinter Cell-esque sticky cameras, to name a few. Then there are other gadgets that are meant as a bit of a send-up to the genre of spy fiction. A beard shaver that doubles as a taser is the standout. The mad thing about this gadget is that everyone takes it at face value, no matter what disguise you're wearing or where you are. Nobody bats an eyelid if you're mid-shave in a sterile lab, for example. There is also a flashbang shaped like a pen, but to be honest, by the time someone has a flashbang flying towards them, it doesn't really matter what shape it is. It's relatively low risk to experiment, as Spy Fiction has a checkpoint every time you enter a room, which is extremely rare in 2003. It also has a very clear and to the point objectives, and a great map, all things that usually make a game feel dated. Also on that, it's worth mentioning that the game looks good. Its minimalist design means it's aged well.
Everything's under control. Go back to the rendezvous.
My favourite level takes place in a Zeppelin that is hosting a demo of the Larder weapon. It's a classy event where you need to disguise as various people to slip in and out of a dinner party and behind the scenes areas. It's a great slice of gameplay and it shows this title's strengths. The The mission requires you to eavesdrop in on a secret meeting between two characters, Forrest Kaysen and Kelly Wong, who are hosting this little weapons do. You'd think dressing up as a security guard and standing nearby to listen, or hanging out in an event above the meeting, would be enough. But in spy fiction, our two heroes disguise as both Kaysen and Wong and host two separate meetings where the real Kaysen and Wong spill their guts out to the player. This is pretty high concept stuff, and pulling it off had an Ocean's 11 vibe, if a very basic version.
You're late. What kept you so long?
And the music is lovely. Another level has you performing the famous Mission Impossible cable drop scene using a cooling spray to hide your body temperature. You basically have 40 seconds to do a series of tasks that you need to prepare in advance for. Spoofing a retinal scan, memorising codes, and learning the pattern of lasers. Moments like this are spy fiction punching well above its weight.
Howdy, partner. It's Cowgirl Caddy. Try pretty cowboy, or I'll head you off at the password.
With its interesting mission designs, fun gadgets, and over-the-top scenario, it's a charming little game. For the first half, anyway. Spy fiction has a strange way of words. As I mentioned earlier, it's been changed during its localization. Characters often say things without enough emphasis, or use it in the wrong place, giving cutscenes an off-kilter feeling, let alone the tonal shifts.
Doctor? Ow!
Oh,
Ah!
I'm sorry.
That's all right. These are steel-toed. Just surprise me is all. Oh, damn.
I will admit it has something, I'm just not sure what that thing is. The mission names have nothing to do with the task at hand. For example, Humpty Dumpty, Loser in the Sky, and Kill Cock Robin, with a question mark at the end. No idea what any of them mean, but each one gave me a giggle. Same as the cutscenes, no harm done.
So this might all sound like a really, really good time, but the task of actually playing spy fiction is not a pleasant one. I'm hesitant to say that spy fiction is ripping off Metal Gear Solid, because it's clearly parodying it. It's kind of the same as you wouldn't say Naked Gun was ripping off cop shows. But the problem arises when spy fiction thinks it's playing like Metal Gear. It really isn't, and it's a really unflattering comparison to Billy and his weird mates. So here's a list of things that this game lifts directly from Metal Gear.
The skin-tight suits with barcodes and serial numbers on. Weaponry collected from spinning floating boxes. The 3 levels of alert system. The intrusion view for going in vents. The stars over the head of guards ticking down to them being awake. The inventory system. 3-point landings of electrical crackling effect. Revolver Ocelot. The actual MGS2 font. Unequipping and re-equipping weapons to reload them. Going into first person, holding square to aim, and releasing it to fire, which was unusual when Metal Gear did it, but spy fiction lifts it wholesale.
You know how in Metal Gear there's kind of a trick to using your scope and then quickly changing to your gun in order to be able to fire over a long range? You can do the same thing in this game, and they call you to tell you about it. Not only that, the characters even move like Metal Gear characters. It's absolutely crazy. There are so many more things that I haven't listed here.
However, unlike Metal Gear, the stealth is bad. Guards' vision is hard to gauge, they are very quick to give up searching if you make a sound, and if you're in disguise, despite them coming over and searching you, they never find your weapons or any reason for suspicion.
I guess you check out. Go ahead.
Alert phases have continuously spawning enemies until you turn off the alarm or manage to hide for about a minute, which you have to wait out the entire time as the doors lock when in any stage of alert mode. The guards are completely brain dead and will forget what's happened to them or their comrades within that same minute too. But one design decision above all else breaks the stealth sections and pretty much the whole game. If you stun an enemy and knock them out, they can wake up and they can be found and the alert is raised. So the stun gadgets, melee chokeholds, they all lead to this state of knockout. If you kill an enemy, they disappear instantly with no reparations for their death. All those crazy gadgets are rendered useless by your basic pistol. So the stealth is unfortunately bad, and the combat also bad. You have a lot of health, and they give you a lot of health kits as they know something is up with the balance. I think the problem boils down to the enemies being extremely accurate. If you hear a gunshot, it will hit you, and they are fast to act. In return, you hold square and let auto-aim deal with it. Boss fights are just awful, really, really awful. Enemies are on top of you and attacking you so quickly that you're basically just trying to out-survive them. In the place of Metal Gear's long informational codec calls is something spy fiction calls Garbology. This is reams and reams of information about every single thing in the game, and each file is unlocked as you enter a unique hiding place. The file referring to Niklaus and Billy's "back in the hole" catchphrase is 6 pages. It's from an in-fiction TV show, and the Garbology goes into the plots and character dynamics of the fake show. It's more unhinged than a 2-minute chat about a particular slide release on Snake's handgun. I think it's too much to say that I respect Garbology is there for people that want it. Nobody in their right mind would read all of these. There is well over 100 of them. The earlier levels where you're revisiting areas and putting on disguises, rendezvousing with informants and the like, are good fun, interspersed with these strange interactions and cutscenes. I started this game and I put it down due to hardware issues, but I kept thinking about it, so I messed with it until I could get it running. As I said, it has something about it. But the second half of the game unfortunately devolves into an absolute mess, and this isn't even mentioning the quadruple agent and double agent plot twists. I finished the game for this video, I wouldn't recommend anyone else does the same. This video is around 10 minutes long, but my playthrough of this game was closer to 9 hours, and about half of that was doing the straight up stealth and combat sections. You also play the opening level twice as it's repeated at the end. There are glimmers of greatness in here, it's just how much crap do you want to wade through to find it. The director of this game is Swery65, and he has gone on to make lots of interesting, but maybe not well received games. I previously played Deadly Premonition and D4 by this same director. I'm glad I took the time to play this one, even if it was just to make this video.
So that's 2 games in a row that wish they were Metal Gear. I promise next time I'll do something that is completely different. Thanks for watching.